What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another banger. If you're new to the channel, this is Tripp Plugged, and I'm your favorite cousin Tripp. Yeah, man. I asked y'all for y'all questions that y'all wanted advice with. Y'all sent them in. This is Tripp Advice. Let's get into it.
I know you see me on the television. I know you see me on the YouTube.
But you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool.
Love you, cousin Tripp.
You don't like me, then do somebody. You mad about it, then do somebody. You broke nigga, then do somebody. You ain't getting bitches, then do somebody. Do somebody. Do somebody. Do somebody. Boy, you better do somebody.
Cousin Tripp, why do you feel like mental health is still taboo in the black communities? And also, why do people feel like showing emotion is a sign of weakness? Much love from Atlanta, Georgia. I feel like in some communities, people acknowledge mental health as a serious illness that, may require, medical attention and stuff like that. But in a lot of communities, a lot of people look at mental health as like a weakness or something like that. We all had some uncle or a friend of the family that was a little touched, we'll say, you know what I'm saying? And they would say that he was crazy and things like that. And it's a big stigma when it comes to dealing with mental health in the black community, because I don't think that there's a lot of research that goes into it, as far as like depression and things like that. A lot of people just be thinking like, oh, he just depressed, get over it. A lot of us in the black community, we want to, pray about it and things like that. But mental illness is a serious condition, and a lot of times it requires more than just prayer. I mean, prayer always helps, but it requires a lot more than that at times. In a lot of black communities, mental health is associated with embarrassment. A lot of shame comes with it. And a lot of black families tend to just hide the fact that somebody in their family is really dealing with the mental illness. A lot of people don't want to take the drugs that's needed to control mental health issues because, they feel like the person will be a zombie, and things like that. So a lot of times we just brush it up under the rug and act like, they'll be okay. Also, in the black community, a lot of us feel like we, survived so much adversity, through the generations that we strong, we could deal with it, and we really don't want nobody telling us something is wrong with us, because mental health is looked at as a weakness, a weakness of the mind. These type of people ain't fit to really blend in with regular people. The mind is very fragile and it can happen to any of us, Some of the things that we go through in life, once your mind is gone, it's hard to get that back. So if you know anybody that's dealing with depression or mental health type of issues, support them and try to get them the help you need. But like I said, a lot of people don't feel like nothing's wrong with them. So if you feel like nothing is wrong with you, then it's hard to really get that help. But we need to take the stigma and the shame and the embarrassment away from mental health issues and deal with it as any other, health issue that anybody else could be going through. Let's deal with the real issues of mental health and talk about it. The only way, and this is why I love this question, because the only way that we can really understand this is if we talk about it and have open dialogue about it. So like I say, I don't know everything when it comes to mental health. I'm not a doctor. This is just my advice. If anybody in the comment section can add more to this, please do so. Yeah. And as far as like showing emotion in the black community is looked at as a weakness, it's the same thing, We supposed to be strong. Like we done been through so much adversity and, we shall overcome. Showing emotion, especially for a black man, is considered a weakness, But I think that it's unhealthy to not be able to show emotion. A lot of times when you're a kid and you start crying, your mom or your dad would tell you to man up. or men don't cry. And I think that's just very toxic to tell a young boy that you shouldn't cry, you shouldn't show emotion. So a lot of times we have all that emotion and anger and things bottled up inside of us because we have no outlet. We can't go to our families and tell them because they would look at us as weak. But the little girl, she can cry. They'll wipe her wounds and bandage her up. But man, we not supposed to show that, but allow your child or allow people in general to feel how they feel. If you sad, you sad. If you happy, you happy, and give them the space to express that. Showing emotion is a sign of strength, That's one of the things that I love about myself, that I'm able to show emotion. I never ran from my emotion or hid my emotions from anything, I cry at the movies if it's emotional, and I love that part of me, It doesn't mean that you're weak or you're not strong. It just actually means that you're in tune with who you are as a person and you care and you feel. Thanks for that question, Let's get into the next one. Okay, as a gay black man, I find it infuriating that so many men are walking around on the down low. So many of our sisters are being deceived. What's your thoughts on this? My thoughts on it is, people deal with things on their own timing, For you to say that it's infuriating to you, I think you're putting too much energy into somebody else's life. See, the thing of it is, like I say, people are DL for different reasons. Sometimes it's work, sometimes it's they have children, they have a career, Every DL person isn't just somebody who just want to sleep with men and want his cake and eat it too. Like I say, it's a big stigma and a fear. I was once a DL boy, and it's still some situations in my life that I feel like I'm forced into being DL, especially when it comes to like work and things like that. I don't just go up in there and tell everybody my business. Sometimes people see me as a straight man, so they talk to me as a straight man about women and things like that. And sometimes I have to be DL. I don't know if it's a fear thing, but it's just like not wanting to deal with, all that comes with that. And I just feel like if you don't have to deal with the repercussions of what that person is going to have to go through for being out, I don't think it should be none of your business. I think you should mind your business when it comes to it, and it shouldn't infuriate you. I think you should focus on something else that's you can control, because it's going to always be LDL people, because everybody's not comfortable with themselves to fully come out. It's very hard, Everybody comes out at different times, Some of y'all might have always been out. Everybody's not walking around here, obvious. So it's hard, You don't have to deal with what they're going to have to deal with if they did come out, losing friendships, losing relationships, possibly losing a job. And in some countries, people have to be a DL because they could risk losing their lives. It's not like it is in America for everybody. So if it doesn't personally affect you, if you're not in a relationship with somebody that's DL and you expecting more from it, then why do you care? That's their own moral thing that they have to deal with themselves, their family, and God. I don't want to place judgment on nobody that's dealing with that because, like I say, I know how hard it could be, and none of us are perfect. We all do wrong, and eventually what's done in the dark will come to the light. If these people are really, wanting to be who they are, eventually maybe they will be able to be that way. Maybe some people, as far as the old man, maybe they enjoy having sex with men, but they don't want everything else that comes with being gay. And that might not sound right, but some people do want a family. Some people do want to be married to a woman and things like that. And some people feel like they might not be able to have that with the man. So they want to keep their family and have sex with men on the side. Like I said, it's not right, but I'm not going to be infuriated by what I think is going on in somebody else's bedroom. You know, just try to focus on something else that you can control, you know, and you just stay away from DL guys. Make sure you get somebody that, you know, is fully open, or somebody that, you know, live the life how you want to live it. And that's all I can say about that, man, because like I say, it's hard. It's really hard, you know, and if you never really been through it, you know, maybe your experience coming out was easy. Maybe your family and your friends accepted you. Some people, they lose everything by coming out. And people have to be ready to deal with that. If you got anything you want to add to this, leave it in the comment section down below. Let's get into the next question. Okay, the next question. Hey, cuzzo. I've been gay my entire life. Recently, I moved back to my hometown, South Carolina, from Indianapolis. I just left an 8-year relationship when I met this guy who had recently divorced his wife. He had never been with a guy before. We connected by talking about our failed relationships. We became very close friends, and somehow we became more. Yes, we did. You know what? I mean, well, the ex-wife decided that she wanted to, you know, get some more pickle from him. Now he's battling his sexuality. Like I said earlier, I've been gay my whole life. I never had to battle, so I don't understand how to help. How do I help him through without manipulating the situation? Okay, good question. Okay, so you say y'all connected because y'all had something in common. Y'all both was in, you know, relationships that ended. So he needed somebody to talk to. You say that you was the first guy. That's what he told you that he's ever messed around with. His wife came back, and now he's battling his sexuality. I mean, that's just like with the last question that I answered, man, about being DL and coming out and dealing with things in your own time. And, you know, his wife, they have history together. This is a new experience for him with you as a man. So how do you know that he's all the way there with you? You know, I would support him through it, you know. Maybe he wants his family, you know. Maybe his wife is all he know. Maybe he's more attracted to women than he is with men. And maybe that experience that he had with you was just an experience, you know. If that's his first time, when it's a person's first time, they go through all types of emotions. Should I do this? Do I feel right about it? They can sometimes just ghost you because they dealing with their own internal issues as far as like, what did I just do? I just had sex with a man, even if it was something that they was thinking about for years on end, you know. But his wife is something that he's comfortable with, what he's familiar with. You got to be careful when you get into situations like that, because it comes with a lot of baggage and things like that. And if you're not really emotionally ready to deal with it, if you catch feelings with this person, you can end up hurting yourself. Like you say, you've been gay your whole life and you knew it. This person hasn't. So it's a new experience for them. So they're going to go back and forth. He might come back to you again, you know, but I would say cut the sexual part of the relationship off. If you want this person in your life, just be a friend, you know. Don't be there for him and be somebody that he can sleep with every time that, you know, he decides that he wants some pickle, you know. Be a friend to him. Be there just to talk to him and communicate with him. And, you know, eventually, if that's what he decides he wants to do, then he'll come around, you know. But dealing with the relationship that's ended, especially for a long time, sometimes the relationships just don't cut ties like that. There's a lot of emotion involved in that. And maybe you was just a rebound, some rebound sex for him. You know, something to come for him in that time, you know. I wouldn't try to build a relationship with this person because, you know, he is dealing with his own sexuality, you know. Ain't no telling where his head at with it. You know, give him time to figure out what he want to do. I wouldn't say cut him off. If you care about the person, just be there to be an ear to listen to him. You know, maybe he want to get away, be around somebody that he could talk to. But a lot of times, you know, we just supposed to be a friend to a person and we end up taking it sexually because our own, you know, urges and needs and attraction and things like that, you know. But every situation ain't meant to be that way, you know. Just be a friend to him. That's all I got to say about that. Holla, just Tripp advice, man. Let's get into the next one. Hey, Tripp. I'm a French Italian citizen. Now, why every time a black man asks me if I like black, and my answer is I love men, period. But sometimes I get frustrated because the question, because of that question. What would you say if you were like me? Would you ask that? I mean, you know how it is in America, you know what I'm saying? Or in the world, period, you know? People want to know if you're attracted to their race, or I don't think it's something that you should get offended by, you know, because they're not just going to automatically assume that just because you like men, that you like all men. There's a lot of racist people that only want to date white men. I think it's a fair question. It's just like, you know, asking, are you attracted to me, or are you attracted to black men? You know, don't get too offended by it. I know it's annoying when people constantly ask you that, but in the world we living in, you never know. If they ask you that question, I would say that they're attracted to you and they want to know if you're attracted to them. You know, maybe because maybe they want to know if you ever been with a black guy before. You know, what was your experience? You know, all men don't love all men. You know, some people who never dated outside their race, some black people who never dated white or Spanish or Italian or anything like that. So I would just say, don't be so offended by it. You know, it's just getting to know somebody. When somebody want to get to know somebody, they ask all types of questions. If I was talking to a white person or Italian or Spanish or whatever, I would ask them if they ever been with a black person, because every culture is different. Like, how would it be if I went home with you to your white family, or how would it be for you to come back to my family? You know, so those type of questions I wouldn't get offended by. You know what I'm saying? Just relax, have a drink, explain to them, yeah, I love men. I'm not racist. I don't care what you are. If you're a good person, I'll talk to you, and just move on from there. It's just one question. What is your advice on long distance relationships? My advice for long distance relationships is communication. You know I say this a lot, but communication is key with any relationships, but especially when you're long distance. You know, a lot of times people want what they want, and they want something that's tangible, that's right there. I feel like your soulmate could be anywhere around the world. If you connect with somebody, y'all have to have clear understanding of what y'all expect from the relationship. You know, do y'all want to talk every day? Do y'all want to talk a few times a week? You know, boundaries and things like that. Just communicate with that person, and y'all both have to be on the same page. I feel like long distance relationships can only work if y'all moving in the same direction. Eventually, y'all gonna have to figure out a way to be together. You know, maybe you met when they lived in another country, or they were away for work, or they had to go away. Maybe y'all already been together and they had to move away for work, like some people in the military. But being honest and being truthful about what you want and what you expect from that relationship is important. You know, communication is key. You know, sometimes you got to be a little flirty. Keep them wanting you. Anything could work if you got two people that want to make it work. That trust is very important when it comes to long distance relationships, because if the trust isn't there, it's not going to work. You know, if you feel like they ain't there for you, you know, they might be messing around. You know, when you call, they don't answer, things like that. You know, it can work. It definitely could work. But like I say, communication is key. Communication is always key. Talk a lot, you know, be there, you know, because y'all not there physically, but it could be a time for y'all to grow and get to know each other better. Talk about things that y'all probably never talked about before. A lot of times when people right there with each other, the relationship can go more physical than it could go to really getting to know that person. So if you long distance, you got all the time in the world to talk about everything. You know, talk about everything. Their life experiences, your life experiences. Just communicate and be on the same page as far as when we're going to get together. Set a plan, set a date. You know, I'm going to be here to this date, but I want to be here. Or, you know, set times that y'all can come visit each other. I'm coming in town this day. I want us to spend some time together. You know, do that. But work on being together, because a relationship is two people together, you know, and you don't want to be together apart forever. So that's all I have for that. You know, if a person really care about you, they'll show you in their actions, and it won't just be their words. You know, they won't be telling you that they want to be with you. They'll show you in everything that they do. Cousin Tripp, why do so many men cheat when some of us want perfectly happy and monogamous relationships? Love from Orlando. Okay, so I got it. Perfectly happy. I don't think nothing is perfect. I think any relationship is going to have its ups and downs, and you got to be able to roll with the punches. You got to take the bitter with the sweet. Anybody that loves you is going to hurt you at some point, because only people that we love can hurt us, because they close to us and they can, you know what I'm saying? We care about them, so they can hurt you. But why do so many men cheat? You know, I think being monogamous is a choice. You know, I don't know if it's necessarily a natural thing, but I think when you get into a relationship with somebody and y'all communicate and y'all decide that, okay, we both want a monogamous relationship, I think that's a choice and somewhat of a contract that you make with that person, that I will be faithful to you. You know, some people just ain't faithful people, you know, but people will say people cheat for different reasons. You know, maybe they're not happy at home. Maybe they're not getting what they want at home. They don't know how to communicate it. Maybe they just like variety, you know what I'm saying? And they just never was honest with you about what they want, you know? Some people, you could be giving them everything, you know what I'm saying? You could be the best man that you could be, and they will still cheat on you. So I wouldn't take it personal. You know, if a person's not loving you the way that you want to be loved, I just think you should get out of that situation, because some people just only know how to give what they know how to give. You know, some people not honest about what they want. You know, they already got into a relationship knowing that they're not a faithful person. Now, you do have people that want to be faithful, but I think that just comes with needle in a haystack. You know what I'm saying? You got to find somebody that really want the same things you want, you know? All men don't cheat. Like you said, there is some people that want to be in monogamous relationships, and I think you just have to find that person that wants to be that. 'Cause people not going to be upfront with it. People going to tell you what they want you to hear just to get in a relationship with you or get what they want from you. So, I don't know, you know. I done dealt with my share of people that cheat, you know, and I just had to realize that if that's not what I want and that's who they are as a person, then I need to find somebody who on the same type of time as I am, you know. But like I say, I think being monogamous is a choice that you have to make every day, because there's so many options out here, you know. So if you love somebody and you care for them and you care about y'all union, you won't break that union by stepping out, you know. I can't tell you to do anything more that you're doing in the bedroom, because like I say, you could be hanging from the chandeliers and doing handstands, and you know, you could have WAP and they'll still cheat on you. So just, you know, deal with every situation accordingly, you know what I'm saying? Communicate about the things that you want and allow them to communicate about the things they want. Hopefully they being honest. And if a person's not faithful to you and that's what you want, then move on. That's the end of Tripp Advice. I hope I did good. This is my first time doing Tripp Advice. Y'all know I love to help, and you know, I just feel like, you know, It's just some cousins talking. I don't have all the answers. That's why we have such a big family. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you never commented, make a comment on this one, because it's so many people. These were some good questions, and I'm going to be doing this again. And if you have any insight that you can to help anybody with any of these questions, please, please, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Please thumbs up this video and like this video, because I'm trying to get that algorithm going, and I really want to touch as many people as we can. Like I say, the bigger this channel get, the more people we can help. I love y'all. I hope y'all be in prayer, and I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.